victory of APC in Kwara State is a victory for democracy, is a demonstration of their willpower to effect change in their own way.
The victory of APC is very unique. Can I say it's unique probably in the country?
It's good for change. Otoge is a nomenclature for change in Kwara State. And at least let's try new hands from the Saraki hegemony.
The long-awaited 2019 general elections held in Nigeria in Kwara State, and like every other election, it was marked by different matters arising. I am Tomi Sinola, and this is Street Voices. We're on the streets today to air the stories and opinions of Kwarans concerning different matters that arose in the just concluded elections. We'll be looking into different situations of the elections that held in Nigeria where Kwara decided. The 2019 general elections were divided into two. For the first phase, the presidential and National Assembly elections held, while for the second phase, the gubernatorial and State House of Assembly elections held. In Kwara State, the first phase of the elections recorded a decent number of voters. However, when the time for gubernatorial elections came, there was a surprisingly low turnout of people, as many opted to stay indoors rather than vote. Did the people lose faith in the exercise, or were they just safeguarding their lives? Let's see what people have to say about the low turnout of voters.
There was low turnout of voters because there was general apathy. And people had assumed that, well, since the APC won the presidential election and nearly swept all the senatorial and House of Representative posts, there was no need for more battles and everything. And secondly, the heavy security during the presidential elections and the reports of violence and killings really gave a lot of fear into some people, and they didn't come out. There was general apathy anyway. Why should we go out to vote when we already know that the APC will win all the states and so on? And that was the major reason why people didn't really turn out to vote.
The turnout for the first election, that is presidential and National Assembly election, was very impressive. The second one, there was a bit of apathy. But at the end of the day, we still thank God that it turned out to be a fairly good turnout.
We mobilized, we did jingles, we did so many things to make sure that not only that people came out, but people went from different places to make sure that people really voted. So we had a large turnout in my polling unit.
For some, another reason there was a low turnout of voters was the presence of heavy security. Many were afraid of being harassed, but in every election, security is paramount.
We witnessed a peaceful election in Kwara State. Nobody was killed. You only had few skirmishes, and in my polling unit, throughout my ward, you can't even hear any issue of security breaches, because anybody knows that if you mess up, you are going to be caught and you are going to be dealt with. So I don't buy that idea that there were too many and it scared people away. It actually made people to come out because people felt secured in casting their votes and so on.
It is important that we protect and preserve the things that make Kwara so special, most certainly including our civil liberties, but we cannot do so without strong security and a thoughtful and informed discourse. For some, exercising their civil rights and showing patriotism included violently enforcing their choices on others. This can only be blamed on lack of information or misinformation. Security agencies in Kwara State, however, stemmed the flow of violence by providing a peaceful environment for a successful conduct of the election exercise.
So the security was the key. It was what made all the difference. If not because of security, the kind of election that we have in Kwara State especially wouldn't have been possible, because there was not a single soul was shot, not a single ballot was snatched, not a single polling booth was disrupted throughout Kwara State during the election because of the tight security. And even the security surveillance was the icing on the cake. The helicopter and the nav jet going about to lay surveillance all over the state.
Enough security agents were deployed, and it was necessary to have deployed them, because we have a lot of these political actors who are hooligans. They sponsor thugs. They will cause mayhem to disrupt things, and I think the heavy presence of security personnel was good and needed and necessary in the process.
Their presence went a long way to scare off any evil-minded miscreants. So they kept off. Because they knew that well, the security is ensured, so there was no place for them to operate. I like it. It was a commendable effort.
Our enough presence of security personnel, we were able to go out freely and vote. So I will encourage that the federal government maintain that tempo, because people need to be protected.
All thanks to the presence of good security, the election activities held, and of course, a winner emerged. In Kwara State, the winner did take all. The success of the APC was indeed massive as they emerged victorious in every nook and cranny of the state. After months of the chants of Otoge reverberating around the state, the people did opt for change and chose Abdurrahman Abdurrazak to lead them. The APC clinched smooth victory in the state and took over the state of harmony, totally subduing the incumbent government of the PDP.
It's a well-deserved victory. It's long overdue. And the victory of APC is very unique. And can I say it's unique probably in the country? Because it tells a lot of lessons that every situation in this life is temporary. No condition is permanent, either positive condition or negative condition. So a lot of lessons need to be learned, and it augurs well for the state.
Well, I wish to congratulate Alhaji Abdurrahman Abdurrazak. He has done a good job. I personally support the APC, and I supported him to emerge as governor of the state. We have seen a lot of governors being sponsored by the so-called Saraki dynasty, and they've performed below expectation. There are no industries in Kwara, no jobs. People rely on businesses, small-scale businesses. The infrastructure is poor. There's so much poverty in the land, low wages and stuff. So it's good for change. Otoge is a nomenclature for change in Kwara State. And at least let's try new hands.
The victory of the APC in Kwara State is a victory for democracy, is a demonstration of their willpower to effect change in their own way. The victory, the political class, the ruling political class have stayed too long on the stage, and they never listen to the people of Kwara State. They never listen to the civil servant. They never listen to public opinion, and at the end of the day, they were demolished and shown the way through the ballot.
The victory has long been planned. It got to be materialized at this time. The present government, governor and the APC rode under a very platform that everybody was ready to key into. Everybody had a common enemy in Kwara State, that's the Saraki dynasty, and everybody wanted them to get out.
The APC did gain upper hand in the state of harmony, with all winners of the 24 constituencies of the State House of Assembly being members of the APC. With this, questions arise. Did the people vote the candidates or the party? Or was it just a mere coincidence that all the candidates chosen by people were of the APC? Did the great desire for change prompt the people to vote only one party in?
And generally, I think they voted the parties all over the nation and in the states. They voted the parties. And but in Kwara State, people have been so sad and have been so disappointed by the Saraki hegemony and Saraki control of the government's resources with the Saraki character and arrogance, that they just said, we are ready to accept anybody who represents change. And since Alhaji Abdul Razak represented change at the APC, they voted overwhelmingly for the APC.
Oh, definitely the party. It has already, the revolution has started in Ofa. Because in Ofa local government, people vote party. They have been voting for the progressive party for a very long time in Ofa. And other people have learned also that the best way to go is the way of the progressive. They voted party.
We want to vote for people who are in APC, and that was the opportunity they had. They capitalized on it, that we had a common enemy in Kwara State. I want to get him out of government, and that was what APC really used and capitalized on. Because of the situation on ground in Kwara State, people voted more for the party than for candidate. I don't know my House of Assembly candidate. I voted for him. I don't know my House of Rep. I voted for APC. And I did most of those things because of Buhari, not because of these people. If because of them, I wouldn't have voted for them.
The primary aim of the State House of Assembly is to promote efficiency, transparency and due process in the running of the affairs of the state. But what happens when all the people at the helm of affairs of the state are of one party? Will there be transparency or unanimity of decisions, whether good or bad?
Oh, it's a welcome idea. It's a resounding victory for the APC, and it's good for them because even then before now, it has been a resounding victory for the former political class that were ruling the state. So let's have them vote. Let's give them the instrumentality to do well. They must do well because we have shown that we wanted them, and they must shown that they are capable of doing what we wanted.
It's a good idea if they were all voted on in a free and fair election and they all won. They were in the majority. Itato parties too had majorities in the state houses of assembly. It doesn't mean that the PDP or the minority party will not have a say. There are other platforms for them to hear their views. There are newspapers. If they are not in the state assembly, they have a party structure in the state to hear their views whenever they feel like commenting on any views as an opposition. So it's not necessarily when you have an electoral post that you can make an impact. Activists to make an impact. Are they in government? No.
But this is not the first time of making it 100%. The other decision it was 100%, only that it fell to the other side, to the other party. So I don't see anything so spectacular. So the more, the better. So I mean, must we have opposition for the sake of for the sake of it? Even within the party, there could be opposition. Brothers of the same mother, they can oppose themselves on holistically on some views. They can disagree to agree. So it's not compulsory. Even opposition can come within.
I don't really like that idea of one party controlling everything. There should be opposition. But as it is, because of what happened, everybody felt that it's okay. Let them give the incoming governor a leverage to be able to do whatever he wants to do without any opposition. But I don't believe that's the best. We need a kind of opposition to checkmate what the government will be doing, to criticize, to scrutinize, and so on. Though most of the time they still buy these people out. Governors buy them out with money. But I believe that they should be able to do their best in terms of actually opposing some government, doing good opposition, giving them constructive criticisms and all the rest.
But do you think there will be transparency in the running of affairs of the state?
As I said, it depends on the personality involved. Like if I become a governor, I will have zero tolerance for corruption, maladministration and misappropriation. So as I stated, it depends on the personality of Alhaji Abdul Razak himself. But from his pedigree, he was the son of a lawyer, the first Nigerian son, senior advocate of Nigeria from northern region. He has been in the oil business since he was, I think, 18 or so, since the 1980s. He's a very wealthy man. He's a businessman. He has a great pedigree. I don't see why he should come into government and be stealing a few billions, which Kwara State has. I think he will use it for development and for the development of the people and infrastructure and whatever else is necessary. And he's most likely to attract real foreign direct investments and local investors into Kwara State.
Once again, the beautiful pedigree we are hearing of Abdurrahman, I believe he has something to do. And he's a person that has even excelled in his private enterprise. He will use that one for the betterment of the state. I can see light at the end of the tunnel. So let's pray for them, and I'm sure they will succeed. Inshallah.
And when there are a lot of hopes in the air, we believe that they should be very careful. They should do better. They have a lot of goodwill. They should not waste it, and they should try their best. They should. We know there are a lot of problems on ground for them. The government has failed, the past government, and everybody wants change, and everybody is yearning for change. There are so many high expectations. I know they may not be able to meet all, but they should try as much as possible to actually do their best, and let them be open. Even when they are not able to do what they wanted to do, let the community know, let the electorate know, and let people enjoy the dividends of democracy. I think that will be the best they can do.
The elections came and Kwara decided. We're now in the aftermath of what could be termed a historic election exercise in Kwara State. Though the people clamored for change and went all out to get it, no one can truly tell what the future holds. This is Street Voices, and this is Kwara.